Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Be For Real hashtag Leaders Matter. I'm Dr. E. Michelle Mickens, and I am the CEO of Live for Change. Live for Change is a global strategic Christian based leadership development consultancy. And under the Be For Real Leadership Series, we provide training opportunities, we have consulting, we have executive coaching, and the goal is primarily to help leaders wherever they are, whatever stage you're at. Our goal is to help you grow personally, professionally, as well as to help grow and shape your teams. It's all about starting where you are to get to where you desire to be. And today I thought I would hop on because there's a couple of things that concern me. One of the things, though, I really like to do a lot of self assessment. I believe that if we're really going to grow, we need to continuously self examine. We need to see where we are and what is it that we're trying to accomplish. Now, if you follow me at all, you will know that I frequently talk about, especially in these last few months, the past 5 months, I've been talking about knowing the temperature of your teams and knowing where where you stand and how you're feeling. Not that feelings should dictate your behavior or your outcomes, but you don't want to ignore your feelings. And so often, especially in the beginning of the year before this whole crazy crisis hit, I was asking leaders to really get in touch with the social side, if you will, to your teams and again with yourself. Asking those questions about how you feel matters. It matters from the degree of value. When you care enough, when you value your teams, you'll want to know. You'll ask those questions. How are you feeling? And in this season that we're in this critical hour, asking those types of questions are very important. But also, while you're getting in touch with your feelings, you want to always exercise emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence really has to do with self-awareness. And not only are you tapping into how you're feeling, but you want to make sure that you're in a place and position where you are in control of what you feel. You're not going to allow anger, for example, to determine how you're going to make decisions, how your day is going to be. You're not going to function from a place of anger. You're not going to function from a place of depression, right? I mean, these things may be in existence. You may feel depressed. And so one of the things that you might want to do is find out what's causing the depression and what do I need to do to alleviate this? What do I need to do to change my mindset so that I'm giving and showing up as my best self? So today there's several things that's coming to mind. One thing I want to share is that I am coming to you live from my website, and I don't do that often. So I'm glad to do that. I'm glad that there's an option and an opportunity to go live from liveforchangellc.com. But that has nothing to do with today's topic. Today's topic is really about knowing who you are. So I ask this question frequently throughout the year, not because we forget who we are or we don't know who we are to begin with, but are we who we say we are? That's what I mean by who are you? Are you showing up the way you desire to show up every day? And then the question not only is who are you, but who do they say you are? Now, who are they? Who do your, who do your teams say that you are? Who do they say that you are? Who, your customers, when they think of you, who do they say that you are? Your board board of directors, who do they say that you are? Who do you say that you are? This is a critical question because a few days ago I posted about you are your brand. And I am not by any means a brand specialist, so I'll say that right out the gate. Business development is not my area of expertise. Leadership development is. But we are our brand, right? When we show up every day, how we show up every day, and who we say we are and how we conduct ourselves is a representation of who we are. Who we are says it shows up in our behavior and how we make decisions. And those things shape our brand, right? So I have my notes because I don't want to deviate, but there's a couple of things that I want to just kind of elaborate on and share with you. I was on a website, I was looking for a good definition for brand. And SB, I think this is the Small Business BC, I think is British Columbia Small Business BC, defines brand as the emotional and psychological association that a person makes with your business, your product, and your services. It's the emotional and psychological associations that a person makes with your business, your product, or your services. Who are you? What is the experience that your team, your stakeholders, what do they have when they are engaged with you as a leader? Who are you? These are questions, again, that I want to encourage you to ask yourself. You don't have to ask this question every day, but you definitely want to be in tune with who you believe you are and who you actually are when you show up. I'm not talking about the days when you have a bad day, and hopefully those are few and far between. But I'm talking about the authentic you. Are you able to authentically show up? And that means from a place of genuine regard for not just how you're doing, but regard for how you're doing, how your teams are doing, and how you all are able to interact to accomplish the greater good, to accomplish the reason why your business is in existence. These are important. Now, let me just say this. There are a couple of things that triggered some concern that prompted me to go ahead and do this video. Now, I'm not into the latest songs and what's going on in terms of the only genre of music that I really listen to is primarily gospel or smooth jazz on occasion. But I heard someone reference this particular video. And when I say the artist's name, you guys are going to know, most of you all are going to know exactly what my concern is. Cardi B. I didn't even know who she was. I've heard the name, but I wouldn't be able to pick her out in a crowd unless I was at a concert that she was doing, right? Well, WAP, I don't know if it's a name or an acronym. I do know what it stands for after doing a little research, and it broke my heart. It did. It broke my heart because this is a beautiful young lady who is and has successfully, I guess, branded herself in a certain way. And so we have this Cardi B WAP featuring Megan the Stallion or The Stallion. So if you really want to know, I'm not going to define what WAP stands for or anything of that nature. You'll have to do your own research. But what breaks my heart is what's inside to make you feel that it's okay to brand yourself that way. Because is this who you want to be? And is this what you want to be known for? And you're a mother, and so you're influencing your own child, little girl, and you're influencing millions of young girls who watch and idolize. Unfortunately, they idolize who they see, especially if who they see looks anything like them. And now I'm talking about ethnicity. So if you are portraying yourself to be portraying yourself in any demeaning way, my question would be why? But then the other side to it is, do you even see that in yourself? Who are you? Who do you say you are? Who do they say you are? And is this who you want to live with? Is this the image? Is this your brand? Is this who you want to be known for? Is this the legacy that you want to leave? These are the questions that I'm asking, not of her in particular, but if you have the stomach to watch something that should be, as far as I'm concerned, rated R, rated X, it's blatant pornography. Blatant. And I purposely did not listen. I silenced the volume because I did not want to inadvertently even welcome foul language in my home. Yes, I am that kind of a person. I don't cuss. I don't encourage it. I don't want to hear it. And that's a whole conversation for a whole nother day. But the real question that I'm asking today, I'm talking to you as a leader. I'm talking to you who is, you are an influencer. And that's the question. Who are you? Who do they say you are? And are you showing up as the person you desire to be? And I know there are days when you may look back and say, yeah, I didn't show up the way I had hoped to. But as long as there's that goal, and I'm not setting a standard, but I do ask the question, what is the standard that you set for yourself? And again, I am talking to leaders. What is your UVP? What is your unique value proposition? Again, I'm not talking from a business development or marketing strategy. I'm not a marketing strategist, but I am a leadership development strategist. So it's important to ask yourself these questions regularly. What is the problem that you are solving? Again, as your organization, what is the problem that your organization is solving? Did the crisis cause a setback? Is the crisis, because it hasn't gone away yet, and we are hearing a lot of chatter about whether or not we'll come out of this pandemic that's causing pandemonium. Have you lost your footing as a leader? Are you still the person that you desire to be and the person that you want the world to see? Are you still that person, or was something taken away as a result of this pandemic? Again, questions to ask yourself on a frequent basis when we're talking about self-awareness. What is your UVP? How do you deliver value? And what sets you apart? Are you still able to deliver? Did anything externally shift your ability to continue to deliver the quality that you desire for your teams, for your stakeholders, for your clients, for your customers? Are you still able? And if anything shifted to the degree where you felt like, or you weren't able to do at the level that you were accustomed to doing, were you able to communicate that shift? Were you able to make it clear that some things are temporarily skewed, but we'll get back on track? Are you able to communicate, and are you communicating regularly with your teams and all of your stakeholders. This is important because this still has a lot to do with your brand as a leader. And even if you're not able to maintain a certain level, a certain standard, you still want to be able to communicate with your teams. Let them know what has changed, or you're still trying to get through some of the things that's changed. Understand this. You set the tone, you set a standard, you set a principle in your organization. Remember that the principle is foundational, it's fundamental to who you are as a leader. Not the policies, not the procedures, not even the process. It's the principle that you establish. What is an acceptable mode of conduct? That is something that should never change. When you have your principle or principles in place, no matter how much is reverberating throughout and outside of your organization, there is a constant that you can rely on, that your team can rely on, that your organization can rely on, that your customers can rely on. How you conduct yourself, how you conduct business, what is acceptable and unacceptable or inappropriate behavior, those things should never change. I want to read something else. I know that a lot of you who follow me, I have a great diverse group, but I do know that many are African American. And what I'm going to read is not exclusive for us, but it is about us. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing wrote this, and I don't have the year that this was actually published. One of the leaders that I follow, who's a powerful leader, is Dr. George C. Frazier, and many of you all know him. He's out of Cleveland, my hometown, and so I'm making that little plug. But he is a powerhouse, and he's really about helping African American businesses do well and excel. But he posted this a couple of days ago from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and I feel that in light of the climate that we're in, that this is appropriate for me to share on my channel here. She says, "We're the only people on this entire planet who have been taught to sing and praise our demeanment. To sing and praise our demeanment. I'm a B." She spelled the word out, 5 letters. "I'm a hoe. I'm a gangster. I'm a thug. I'm a dog." If you can train people to demean and degrade themselves, you can oppress them forever. You can even program them to kill themselves, and they won't even understand what happened. I do know this was written some time ago. This may have been as old as in the 70s, but she's no longer alive. But that quote that he posted, that Dr. Frazier posted from Dr. Welsing, really resonated with me after seeing just snippets of that video that I mentioned earlier that Cardi B has, recently released. And there's an attitude of being demeaning and not caring, right? To be demoralizing and not caring. It's like a rebellious spirit. And yeah, as a Christian who studies the Word of God, everything, my principles come from the Word. My standard is set by the Word of God. And so everything the lenses that I look at the world and everything that I do and that's done through my business has to be set against that firm foundation. And so when you see so much rebellion, especially in light of Black Lives Matter, and then you have a lot of other groups and outgrowths that has attached themselves to this movement. And now you're seeing some behaviors, and I shouldn't say now, but you're seeing more of it because it's always been in existence. It's just the level. Clearly, it's been in existence for a number of years because, again, Dr. Wesling, and did I say, yeah, Welsing wrote this many years ago. She may have written this 40, 50 years ago, maybe 40. But my point is this. It's imperative that we do a self-awareness. Am I comparing you as a leader with anything in terms of being demeaning or demoralizing? Not at all. Not at all. But I do want you to ask yourself, how are you showing up? You may not be to that extreme, but when you see those extremities, is any of that bleeding through? Because it may not be coming from you, but it may be coming from some of your team members. And if you all are parents, do you see that in your children? You know, what does that have to do with anything? You're a leader in your home just as much as you are a leader in your organization. And we're talking about raising up leaders who they're going to lead our country. They're going to lead our communities. They're going to lead other people, right? We want to pay attention to what's influencing them. And in your home, I just want to encourage you to be the loudest influencer, the greatest influencer, next to the Word of God, if you are a Christian, next to the Bible. I'm not sure if you are a Christian, so I'm not going to push Christianity. But I will say, you set the standard. You lay the foundation. Everything that we want to see starts with us in terms of the standards, the principles, the growth, the rate at which you grow, what influences that growth and maturity, increase in wisdom, shaping the minds and the direction of the people that have been entrusted in your care. How are you leading them? Are you leading by example? What type of leader are you? And it all comes back down to who you are. Are you who you desire to be? Are you who you say you are? Who do they say you are? And the beauty of it all is that we have room to change. Every day we can influence ourselves. The Word of God says by renewing our minds, according to Romans 12, 1 and 2. We can renew our minds by the Word of God. We can renew our minds by what we feed our souls. But we're in a critical stage. We're in a critical period of time right now with so much external chatter, so much that's influencing. Sometimes we can be influenced and not even pay attention to it, especially if there's something that's going to tug at our emotions. Being an African American woman, watching the dying of George Floyd and many others, but that particular one left an indelible, what is the word? It left such a strong impression, I can say that. And it troubled me. And there was a part of me that got angry. There was a part of me that I was furious. I was everything about me, the militant part of me rose up. And it took me some time. I mean, wept and cried for our people. And that's the space that I was in for a minute, for a few days, to be honest. But I thank God that because He's gracious and patient, He allowed me to feel what I felt. But His word, because every day I stayed in the word, I didn't shift from that. That's my foundation. And I was renewed again. And one thing that I know for sure, my God is not bound by a color, because He's spirit. And He is for righteousness. What is righteousness all about? Justice. Doing what is right. High moral standards. And it comes all the way back to, who are you? Who do they say you are? Are you who you desire to be? I could go on, but I wanted to put this out there. And listen, there are so many other things. Live for Change, LLC, is a leadership development consultancy. I offer a variety of training programs. I do inclusive training. I do ethical leadership development. I also have the personal one-on-one leadership development training. I offer a variety of training programs, the unconscious bias or implicit bias training, diversity. My point to you is, if you're looking to train your groups, I'm available. Let's have a conversation. You can follow me right here on my page, but I'll make sure that my links are available to you. But we want to make sure that we're showing up as an organization, not only doing our mission and our vision, because that's absolutely fundamental, but we want to make sure that we're delivering value, right? We want to make sure that we are truly delivering value. We're not overly concerned about our competition because of how we are unique. Our presence and who we are and what we deliver is unique, and how we conduct ourselves, because we care about ourselves and we care about our customers and our clients. We're going to deliver with excellence. It's not about just making money, and we absolutely want to make money. We are definitely about the profit, but that's not our motivation. Our motivation is that we want to make a difference. We want to leave, we want to have the reputation and the legacy of operating with excellence. All right, I'm Dr. E. Michelle Mickens. Please reach out to me. Let me know. Give me some feedback. I want to hear from you. Join our email list. Stay connected. Until next time, take care of yourself. Be safe. Be careful. Be for real. REAL is an acronym. Be reliable. Be ethical. Be authentic. And always be a learner. Take care. God bless you.